Alright, here we are with Season 48, War number 11, and this is going to be a kind of short war for me. I had 5 fights, but 2 of them were minis. One fight I was assigned and then realized that the champion I needed to bring was on defense, so I had to send a backup at that fight, and it ended up being to where I had to take my fights very late because I was waiting a little while, but it's alright. It just means I have a little bit less fights for this war because of the whole defense incident, but that's okay. We're starting on path 5 against this Jabari Panther, and this is pretty easy. I just kind of need to get some intercepts at the start of the fights, and then I can just kind of use my miss to get openings for the rest of it, and then it's a pretty good time. So yeah, we farmed our prowess pretty early. That's what I really like to do with this tactic, and as you're going to see in this fight, and some of the other fights I have coming up, farming tactic prowess early is just a key way to win a lot of these fights. Like getting to 7 as soon as possible by hitting the block, it's really useful, and it's going to come in clutch for some other things. And we're going to throw a heavy attack from our relic, get the knockdown, and then she's just going to die from the from my special 2. So I trigger my falter and then do 1 hit in SP2, and it's an absurd amount of damage, and we had power back boost on that I really didn't need, but I was kind of concerned about one fight coming later that I wanted to use Dani for that I might want power backs for. But next up we have Kushala against Gladiator on node 19, and I've never gotten to use Kushala this season because 1, she's been banned like 8 of the 10 wars. And then, so this is one of the ones where she wasn't, but this is War 11, so it doesn't really count for that factor. But also, we have, like, 2, I believe, rank 3 7-star Kushalas in my battle group, so there wasn't really a reason for me to ever bring her. But I just needed a generic Mystic for this path fight, and I figured Kushala would work best for it, so I decided to take Kushala. Even though I was assigned Claire, I talked to my officer if I could bring Kushala instead, and he was okay with it, and it ended up being a good call because I honestly really liked how Kushala did for this fight. Even though node 19 is one of the easiest nodes on the map, she still felt like she did a really good job in this fight. And yeah, this Gladiator's dead just like that. So that's my only Kushala fight, probably my only Kushala fight of the season. But it went really well. So next up we have node 28, Baron Zemo, and we're taking this with Dani Moonstar. I was a little bit worried about this fight because of just how much damage I'd be able to do with the healing around, but it ended up not being a problem, and I also kind of forgot that when Zemo disorients me, it's actually just going to make me ramp up faster because I place a falter immediately, which is really nice. So yeah, we're just getting our falter so often because of that disorient, and it's a really good time. Makes the fight a lot easier because then I have more opportunities to farm prowess and farm neural arrows. So we throw the SP1 there, and at this point we're just trying to bait his special attack, and I want to get to an SP2, ideally with that energy vulnerability still up. And I actually wanted to get to my SP2 with his resistance up down, but he was a little passive, and passive enough to where that just didn't work out, and I didn't get any crits on my first SP2, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, our Neuroshocks are doing very good damage, and at this point, I decided to block the SP2, even though I know how to dex it just to be safe. Gonna cost me like 1 potion, it's not that big a deal. And I'm gonna go for an SP1 here just to see how much damage we do, and then I get a crit at the end, so totally worth using that SP1, and she destroyed that fight, so it was a really good time. Alright, next up we have Nick Fury on node 38. Not 38, I'm confused. Node 41. That's definitely different. Node 41, and this is pretty easy if you know what you're doing. Basically, I wanted to SP1 into SP2, and then there's basically no way he survives. So that's pretty cool. We're gonna trigger my falter as soon as I hit my 10 hits, ideally without him ever throwing an SP1. We want to get some neural arrows early just because, and now he throws his SP2, and I want to throw my SP1 in just a second. We're going to throw it right here, and then we place the energy vulnerability, which is really good because it's going to make our SP2 hit a lot harder, and that's kind of why I went for it, just to make sure that the SP2 is going to kill him, and I can do it in 1 SP2. That's like the big thing of this fight. So we're going to trigger our illusion and then go for an SP2, and this guy is just beyond dead. Like, the damage is going to be really good, but even though we don't get any crits, it doesn't matter because those Neros are just going to finish him off just like that. He can't heal if he's Nero shocked, and if we line it up to where the SP2 kills him while he has Nero shocks active, then he's just dead, just like that, and it's a really good time. So I have one more fight this war. It's against Node 48. Kate Bishop, and this is another example where farming my tactic prowess is going to be really helpful. You're going to see me start the fight by trying to get her to hold block, and then I can throw my light attacks into her block at that point. We're going to go for some there, 2 prowess, and we're back down to 1 because I do need to get her to block, but I whiffed a light attack to try to get her to block. It worked, and then she does it again. We're down to 3 prowess, but now we have 6, and then now we're at 7. And I'm going to pause here because those 7 prowess allowed me to not have to get any more prowess the rest of the fight. I don't have to well-time block. I don't have to hit her block. I just am I am set out for the entire rest of the fight. And that's why I think farming tactic prowess early is a really good idea. And especially in this fight where now I can just Dex her SP1 every time and not have to worry about farming prowess again, because this is all I gotta do, is just get her to throw her special. I could have light into block there, but it doesn't matter because I'm not gonna need to. I'm gonna throw my SP1 here just to make my SP2 hit harder once again. And we farm a lot of Nero arrows on that falter, which is good because I got all 5, so that means I don't need her to miss on my next falter. And we're just gonna trigger it and then do a bunch of combos into my SP2, and she's just gonna die just like that. So we get no crits, and then final hit, still no crit, but it doesn't matter because she's just dead, so who cares? I'm pretty sure we did that fight with no damage taken, and that's because we didn't have to block a hit the entire fight. Even though I got a WAG spree fight, I simply did not need it because of farming tactic prowess early, which is just a really important thing that you can do in war in this season, and it definitely helps a lot. So that is my war. I believe we won the war by quite a bit. Yeah, we won by like over 30 attack bonus. And that means we have won, I believe, 5 wars in a row, 6 wars in a row, I'm not sure. And we are 8-3, which is really good. Hopefully we can win our last war and we'll have a really solid 9-3 record this season and finish in Plat 1. I'm pretty sure we're guaranteed Plat 1 right now, but definitely we'll take the win if we can get it. So thank you so much for watching. Definitely a short war video for me, but I feel like it was a really good one. And I will see y'all in the next one.